Picture creatures so tiny they could chill in the palm of your hand. Beings lurking in the shadows, waiting for just the right moment, and colossal sea monsters that'd make even the bravest go weak at the knees. Now, the US might not boast a mythology as famed as Greek, Egyptian, or Norse, but that doesn't mean it's short on spine-tingling tales. This land is home to beings that could star in your worst nightmares. And let's not forget the cryptids, those mysterious critters that might just be living among us, yet remain undiscovered. Number 1. Dark Watchers. The native Chumash tribe of the central coast of California has been around for thousands of years, and even they call the Dark Watchers the Ancient Ones. The Dark Watchers are mysterious figures that appear at dusk or dawn in the Santa Lucia Mountains of central California, especially in the Big Sur region. They are commonly described as tall, dark silhouettes, often over 10 feet tall. They appear faceless and are sometimes said to carry hats or walking sticks. They are often seen standing and gazing at the horizon without moving. They disappear in an instant, especially if anyone tries to approach them or look directly at them. The true nature and origin of the Dark Watchers is unknown. These figures are said to have been observed by Native Americans and have been mentioned in their oral legends for centuries. The poet Robinson Jeffers mentioned the Dark Watchers in his poetry, further solidifying their place in Californian culture. Some suggest that these figures may simply be optical illusions created by the interplay of light and shadow in the mountains, especially during sunrise or sunset. Given their long history and local legends, some believe that the Dark Watchers are spirits or supernatural entities that inhabit or protect the mountains. Number 2. Tijaruk. The Tijaruk is a creature from the legends of indigenous peoples, especially the Aleut and other groups inhabiting the Arctic regions of North America. This mythological being is associated with icy waters, specifically inhabiting the areas around Unimak Island, one of the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. It is a sea creature with an appearance similar to a sea serpent or sea dragon. It has a large head, compared in some accounts to that of a horse, and a long serpentine body. Although lengths vary among accounts, the Tijaruk's body, excluding head and tail, is generally reported to be approximately 4 to 7 meters long. This creature is elusive and rarely seen by humans. However, it is believed to be capable of catching unsuspecting people or animals in or near water. Some accounts describe the creature emerging from the water to catch its prey, while others tell of unexpected sightings by fishermen or travelers. In the stories, the Tijaruk is a predator that preys on fish, marine mammals, and possibly humans that come too close to its territory. The cold, remote waters of the Aleutian Islands are its traditional home according to legend. These areas are difficult to explore, which has added a veil of mystery to the creature's actual existence. Number 3. Skunk Ape. Sightings of the skunk ape tell terrifying tales of a large, hairy, foul-smelling, ape-like creature that runs upright on 2 legs. The skunk ape is a legendary creature that is part of southeastern folklore, especially in Florida. It is one of the many hairy men, or Bigfoot-like creatures, that are said to inhabit different parts of North America. The skunk ape is a large, ape-like creature with long, thick hair that covers most of its body. It can reach heights of 6 to 7 feet, approximately 180 to 2.10 meters. One of the most distinctive characteristics of the skunk ape is its strong, unpleasant odor. This odor is a combination of its marshy territory and its nomadic behavior. It is an elusive and nocturnal creature, associated with swampy areas, dense forests, and wetlands. Sightings of the creature go back decades, with a notable increase in reports in the 1960s and 1970s. People have reported seeing the creature crossing roads, lurking on forest edges, or even peering into the windows of homes. In 2000, an anonymous woman sent 2 photos to the Sarasota, Florida Sheriff's Office that allegedly showed the skunk ape in her backyard. These images, known as the Mayaka skunk ape photos, have been the subject of debate. Expeditions have been organized to search for evidence of its existence, and the creature has become something of a tourist attraction in some areas of Florida. Number 4. Manun. These beings are sort of like little builders in Hawaiian mythology and are closely linked to ancient buildings and structures on the islands. The menehune have rarely been seen by human eyes. Rare reports describe beings about 2 feet tall, and some witnesses have seen them as small as 6 inches, so small they would fit in the palm of your hand. They are depicted as having human-like features, but smaller in size. The menehune are believed to be master builders and craftsmen. They are said to work in secret during the night, completing large construction projects in a single day. They are elusive beings, preferring to work in secret, and are rarely seen during the day. If they are discovered while working, they will disappear and abandon their project immediately. The legend of the menehune is rooted in the ancient history of Hawaii. There are numerous ancient structures such as ponds, temples, and roads on the islands that, according to tradition, are attributed to the menehune because of their impressive construction and the mystery surrounding their origin. For example, the Alakoko fishing pond on Kauai is one of the most famous sites attributed to the menehune. According to legend, this pond was built in a single night by the menehune. If you want to know more about the mythology of Hawaii, I have a video on the channel talking about it. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the videos I upload every week. Number 5. The Altamaha, commonly nicknamed Alti, is a sea monster that is said to inhabit the waters of the Altamaha River near Darien and Brunswick, Georgia. The Altamaha is an aquatic creature with a long neck and several fins. Its size is enormous, reaching 20 to 30 feet in length, approximately 6 to 9 meters. Its skin is dark in color, and it is said to have bulging eyes. Most sightings describe it as a fast swimmer, sometimes surfacing for a peek or a breath of air before diving again. Although it is not considered aggressive, its mere appearance has alarmed many witnesses. Many sightings have been reported in the marsh and estuarine areas of the Altamaha River. These reports range from chance encounters to stories of fishermen claiming to have had close encounters with the creature. Native American tribes in the region are said to have told stories of a large creature in the waters of the river long before the arrival of European settlers. The ancient stories about the Altamaha have been passed down for generations. Number 6. Spectral Moose. This creature is particularly associated with the northeastern regions of the United States and Canada. This moose of gigantic proportions is said to prowl the forests and is, in essence, a spirit of the forest. It is described as a moose of imposing size, much larger than any moose that might be encountered in real life. His fur is bright white, and in some stories, his eyes glow red or blue. Despite its size and frightening appearance, the spectral moose is described as elusive and rarely aggressive. It tends to disappear quickly, vanishing into the trees or mist, which reinforces its ghostly nature. Legends of the spectral moose date back to at least the 19th century. It is said to have been seen in Maine, New Brunswick, and other wooded areas of the Northeast. Witnesses claim to have seen the spectral moose after shooting and wounding a real moose, suggesting that the spectral moose may be a kind of protector or avenger of wounded moose. In some encounters, those who attempt to hunt the wraith moose find that their bullets have no effect, passing through it as if it were an apparition. In others, hunters who have claimed to have encounters with the creature experience a series of misfortunes. Number 7. Loveland Frogman. This mysterious creature has become a notable part of local folklore and has been the subject of several reports and sightings over the years. They are described as humanoid beings with frog-like or lizard-like faces and scaly textured skin. They are between 1 and 1.5 meters tall and walk upright on 2 legs. Known to be elusive, the Loveland Frogmen have also been described as carrying strange objects, such as wands that emit flashes of light or fire. The legend began in the 1950s, but the most famous sightings took place in the 1970s. In one of the most notorious incidents, a police officer reported seeing one of these beings on the side of a road at night. The being raised a wand which gave off a kind of glowing light before fleeing into the nearby river. Number 8. The Squank. The Squank is a mythical creature native to the forests of Pennsylvania. It is known not so much for its appearance, but for its tears and characteristic behavior, for it is a creature that, according to legend, cries constantly because of its ugliness. It is an animal with a flabby skin, covered with warts and other imperfections. Its appearance is so pitiful that even the creature itself is distressed by it. So conscious and ashamed is it of its appearance that, according to the stories, it always tries to hide and avoid being seen. If cornered or trapped, it is said that the creature can dissolve into a pool of tears and escape. The Squank myth was popularized in part by William T. Cox's book, published in 1910. In this book, Cox collected a number of legends and tales involving mythical creatures. One story tells of a hunter who managed to catch a squonk by following the trail of its tears through the forest. He managed to capture it and put it in a bag to take it home. However, when the hunter finally opened the bag, he found only a puddle of tears and water, as the squonk had cried until it had completely disappeared. Number 9. Melon Heads. Melon heads are creatures that belong to the urban folklore of certain areas of the United States, particularly in the states of Michigan, Ohio, and Connecticut. Depending on the region, the stories may vary, but there are certain common elements in all of them. As their name suggests, melon heads have abnormally large melon-like heads in proportion to their small bodies. They are described as having bulging eyes and pale skin. According to legends, melon heads are reclusive beings that often hide in forests or remote areas. Some stories tell of them being aggressive or hunting people who wander into their territories. In Michigan, some versions say they are descendants of children who suffered from hydrocephalus and were experimented on by a mad doctor. They then escaped or were released into the forest and became wild. In Ohio, a popular story has it that the melon heads were patients in a psychiatric hospital that burned down, and the survivors took refuge in the woods, breeding among themselves and developing their distinctive characteristics. In Connecticut, the story often focuses on a group of families who retreated into the woods and, through inbreeding, developed mutations, including the big heads. Number 10. Shanka Warakin. The Shanka Warakin is a mysterious creature that is part of the folklore of Native American tribes in the northern United States, especially in the regions of Montana and Idaho. The Shanka Warakin is said to be similar in appearance to a wolf or large dog, but with unusual features. Described as having dark, thick fur, a hunched back, low-set ears, and a mouth or muzzle that resembles neither a wolf nor a coyote. Its nature is fierce and aggressive. It hunts silently, stalking its prey before attacking. One of the most famous tales associated with it is the story of a specimen that was supposedly shot in Montana in the late 19th century. The downed animal, which was unlike any other known in the region, was mounted and displayed in a local shop for years. This display attracted attention and led to speculation as to whether it might be a real example of the legendary creature. Before we dive into the last entry on our list, I'd like to invite you to join as a channel member. By doing so, you'll get a say in key decisions, like voting on this week's video and suggesting topics for future content. Plus, you'll be giving a massive boost to this channel and all the hard work I put in. Number 11. Snig Gaster. The Snig Gaster is a cryptid creature associated with the Maryland and Appalachian region. Over the years, stories and legends about this creature have left a mark on the popular culture of the region. It is typically described as a flying creature with reptilian and avian characteristics. It is depicted with a long, jagged beak, huge wings, and sometimes tentacles coming out of its mouth. Its appearance may vary according to accounts, but it is often attributed with glowing eyes and sharp claws. It emits a high-pitched, terrifying scream. Stories tell of the creature carrying off animals and sometimes even humans. The legend is thought to have originated with early German settlers who spoke of a creature called Schneller Geist, meaning swift spirit. And over time the story evolved into the myth of the Snig Gaster. The connection to Theodore Roosevelt stems from the popularity of stories about the Snig Gaster in the early 20th century. During that time, local newspapers sometimes carried reports of sightings of the creature, and legend has it that Roosevelt considered participating in an expedition to hunt it down. This idea is based in part on Roosevelt's well-known interest in cryptozoology and hunting expeditions. However, there is no solid historical evidence that Roosevelt actually made plans to hunt the creature or that he had any particular interest in it. The story may be an exaggeration or fabrication derived from a combination of the creature's popularity and Roosevelt's fame as a hunter and adventurer. Don't forget to subscribe so you're in the loop for the upcoming videos I'll be dropping. Let me know in the comments what you thought and smash that like button. And if you don't, I'll pack my bags and head to the woods to hunt for Bigfoot.